Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Only Trade to Win. It is 2 a.m. on Monday, April the 15th, 2024, and of course 2 a.m. New York time. Happy April 15th. I hope everybody in America gets their taxes in and we continue rocking with this market. Apple. Look at this. This is one of the reasons why I will never short Apple. It can sell off for days and weeks, and then it's just few days it would do this. And in just 2 days, Apple recovers all it has given up from March the 24th. So we go exactly for 1 month down, and then in 2 days, we recover everything that we lost 1 month. The daily, it is clearly visible how much stronger the buyers are than the sellers. Again, 1 month down and 2 days back right up into the upper level of this range. Historically speaking, Apple made its all-time highs before the market. It's been the leader. This year, it is an exception. So Apple is having a consolidation, a really big consolidation here, and we will see what it will do after it's done doing its thing, but hopefully it will do what Apple has done always. Let's update Nvidia first. From January the 24th, when the stock finally broke above the $500 resistance level, it ran up almost 50%. Then we had our first pullback. As we noticed before, a 15% is a good pullback for Nvidia. So in this case, we got a little bit more than 10 and then continued on. So if we grab this and move up here, this new all-time high on March the 24th represents the 84% move from the breakout from the $500 area. And the following day, after making its all-time highs, Nvidia had a huge rejection candle and it was down 100 points by noon on that day. I'm going to zoom in, and since we've been following the stock so closely and had so many updates, that this candle is a big warning sign. And one thing that I wanted to show you today, I'm here on the left side grabbing this line tool. Look at where the stock was on March the 25th and look where it's at right now. We're basically in the same level. There are several things that happened. Number one, the stock has established some kind of a base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trades at this level of 870 and then runs up, tests its highs, 959, 967. Then it sells off, it breaks the support, it immediately rejects, and we have two huge candles, 838 to 871 and then 871 to 905. So it runs almost 70 points in just 2 days, and again we're sitting at the same level we were after this huge rejection candle. So this whole area right here, technically speaking, is a very bullish consolidation. And to see what I'm talking about, we need to zoom out. This is the weekly picture and this is the circle that I just drew on the daily. So let me switch back. This is what it looks like if we look closely, and this is what it looks like if we zoom out. And you can see there was a huge run. Let's just grab this thing from our previous show and move up to the current price. And we can say that from January 23rd until March the 24th, the stock has run up 522% and now it is consolidating. Let's zoom out even more and go on monthly. Okay, our circle doesn't even look like a circle. I'm going to remove all these things because it is impossible to see. Okay, and now we see what it looks like. One of the things that you really need to do is zoom in and zoom out all the time to get a clue. Let's go on the daily. On the daily, it looks like the stock is consolidating. If you go on hourly, it looks like it's in a decline. Let's go 2 hour, zoom a little, nothing, consolidation. So if we look at the daily chart or even shorter period of time, we get a lot of this noise. But if we zoom out, and this is especially appropriate for investors holding stocks for long term, trying to capture mega moves like this. So we erase our pullback. Here is what the picture of Nvidia looks like. This is a tiny pullback now after huge candles like this, where the stock moved up 85%. Having a little pullback is normal. And again, we talked on the video and we said we're looking for a 15% pullback, because historically when the stock pulled back 15%, it was a good buy. And until it stops working, we're going to do the same thing. Here's the thing, pullback of 13% is what we got. I guess everybody watched my show and realized that 15% is a good deal. So we need to bid a little bit higher to get that stock I guess everybody's watching my show and they realize that the 15% is a really good deal and people are starting to put the bids in and get that deal. Yeah, we did not get 15% even if you sold the all-time high and then bought this low of $830.22. Look, there is one thing that is really alarming, and that is how adamant the CEO of one of the largest banks in the world, JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, is saying that he has lots of concerns about the economy and moving forward, and that man sees a lot more than probably all of the people who are watching the show, or maybe all the people who are on YouTube today, not counting professional bankers. He has information from all over the world. He has all the information within the United States. The stock had a phenomenal run from the bottom, it said, in January of 2023, all-time highs reaching 294, its all-time high, and it was up 47% from the bottom in November. Now, when we're talking about banks and mega banks like JP Morgan, it is an enormous move. Now, they had great earnings. Let's look here. We already know that we need to push this green house looking like E button, and we see that estimate was $4.172 per share. They reported 4.44, beating the estimates, and the same thing is on the revenue side. So it's estimate 41.689 billion. They reported 41.934, and this time it was not about the guidance. This was all about the future expectations, and that's our move on JP Morgan. And life experience has taught me that we need to listen to people who have most information so we can make our own decisions. Jamie Dimon is concerned about the future of the economy, and that's a big red flag, and that's a big red candle for JP Morgan Chase on Friday. Our comeback champion of 2023, Meta, is consolidating at its all-time highs. This stock has been phenomenal. It is up almost 470% from beginning of 2023, and as you can see, it is not even pulling back. Here is the last pullback that we had. Let's measure it. Okay, so Meta ran up 470%, and the biggest pullback it had was 15%, which was back in July of 2023, almost 1 year ago. I am keeping Meta as a contender for not only comeback champion, but a champion of 2024. Really awesome picture. If you're in it, enjoy the ride. If you are not, trade really small size, because at some point it could pull back, and I hope not do anything like it did before, but we know that before becoming a champion in 2023, it lost more than 75% of its value in 2022. And as we know, markets have memory and history repeats itself. I'm just saying that when you are looking to get into a stock that is up almost 5 folds, you need to expect some kind of pullback, and pullback could be quite significant, so you may have to sit through that. And last, we look at the S&P 500. This is a play account in which I make experiments, and I recommend that you do the same. So it started quite a while back. I got in to this breakout, and I actually held it to the top, and when we made it to the top 2 contracts, I decided that I just want to get rid of one, because my biggest issue through life is not taking profits, and this was a real hunch, nothing really. We were still trading above 5,300, and I closed the position that I bought at 5,100, and I kept the second one thinking that I want to see what happens to it, and this would be a millionth time of writing it up and then writing it all the way down, or even worse on the way, trying to find the level to enter and actually not being able to hold on the original position. So what I decided to do is that I'm going to do what I want to do, and if I cannot do it with real money, I'm going to do it with fake money. And to tell you the truth, it was super difficult to do with fake money. If you know that you're making mistakes and you're making same mistakes and you cannot fix them in the real account, you have to go and try it with fake money, because if you cannot do it with fake money, you cannot do it at all. And I think with that, I'd like to leave you. If you are losing money in your accounts, you need to stop trading, and you need to stop trying to invest. You need to get a paper trading account and play in it. And if you have to take a loss, or if you have to hold on to a winner, you just stay with it. Here is a big loser, Binance, and here are 2 big winners for YFII, which I had trade to trade. And if you look at the dates in this account, 329, 320, 319. So one of the things that I proved to myself a millionth time is that day trading is the most difficult part. Let's look at P&L. Here's the play account. Let's go from the losers, because it's easier to find winners. I want to see what Bitcoin is doing, and I can hold this small of a size to show myself that I don't need to load up, and actually, you can take big moves and make really good money on very limited risk. Here I am watching all biotechs, buying small size, trying to get in because I see a lot of opportunity in biotechs, and if you have never looked at how those stocks trade, you really ought to take a look, because they can go from 300 to 10 and then back to 300 in just a matter of time. The reason I'm showing it to you is because I have some ideas I wanted to test for a long time, and doing it with real money, really distracting to have all these 1, 5, 10 share positions I am trying to build, and I'm trying to learn on my mistakes, but not using the real money. And this is very real. When you start looking at this as your portfolio, you really watch this closely. 10 shares, 10 shares, 10 shares. So I have 30 shares in my best positions, and it's almost 800. It's a really, really good indicator for me, and this is getting in late. One of the things that I'm trying to come up with is how to get into a running market, and especially like this. These are all positions that I'm opening very, very late, and I'm trying to come up with a methodology on how to manage them, especially in that turning point, and hopefully catch that turning point. So I hope this is helpful for you. This is nothing. I hope this is helpful for you to look at things like this. This is actually work in process. There are no secrets that I'm telling you. There is nothing probably new that you've heard, but I am trying to talk about the basics, because there are a lot of people who skip the basics and they don't really know what they're looking at. When they're looking at a chart, as I like to call them, picture, and try to doodle things like this, and come up with their own supports, resistance, and then say, okay, this is a good entry because I have a very small stop loss, and I'm going to take the trade, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to let it play out. In any case, we are in super strong market, but there are a lot of concerns by people who have a lot more information than we do. So until I see you next time, navigate with care, and have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.